Welcome, bienvenidos. CP, Colombia Papacito. If you're not gonna say it right, don't say it at all. So we are back. I got something to discuss, man. I got something to talk about. It's very interesting. It's been on my mind for a long time. I usually just talk to my dad about this, but I thought about it. Maybe I should just share this with my audience because obviously you guys know that I love Colombia, and eventually, obviously, I want to do more things while I'm out there. Build infrastructures, do a lot of more visits with touring, building a house, retirement home, and things of that nature. There's a lot of things that I want to do in Colombia. So I actually want to talk about it from a different perspective, though. And when I say we, I mean my Aboriginal, Indigenous, and African descent people that a lot of you call black, right? I don't call it that, right? Don't box me in. But I'd say we need to do a better job in our society, right? But at the same time, we also need to say fuck our society. We just need to get away from it altogether. And me personally, what I think is a lot of us who are going through this pressure of systematic pressure and not being able to fulfill our dreams because we feel like something is holding us back, or we have to go the hard way, we have to go the long way to do things. I feel like a lot of us should just stop trying here in America and just go to South America. Honestly, I mean, that's my opinion. I think we should just stop trying so damn hard to be who we want to be in America and just go to South America with a competitive advantage in terms of money, because our dollar is 3 to 1 peso, at least in Colombia. But go to South America, start from scratch, build something. Whatever you're doing right now, do it over there and just start a business. Or we can come together as a community and start building a community with the native people there. I think we should do that, honestly. Like I don't see the point. People are always like, oh, like this systematic pressure, people try to prevent me from doing this, people try to prevent me doing that. You go to South America, man, I don't get none of that. I don't get enough. Honestly, I'm not even gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna lie to you. In Colombia specifically, right? Because that's where I've been majority of my tour in South America. I've been to other places, but mainly Colombia. Racism doesn't really exist down there. Like, people don't look at your skin color and determine you're no good. Like, people don't do that down there. Everything is very equalized, if that makes sense. There's not really a lot of systematic things going on. Now there is, right? From a big government versus the people perspective, but it's few and far between and it's hard to really come by. For the most part, if you're in a poor situation, obviously the only way to get out of that poor situation is to manifest and become like a business owner or something like that, be attached to some type of business and figure out a way to use that business to create generational wealth for your family. That's how you do it in Colombia. But there's nothing stopping you from doing it. And I'll give an example right here. My fiance, her brother, out of nowhere, decided he wanted to start a business selling food. You know how hard it is in America, right? You got to have your food license. You got to have permission from the city. You got to have permission from the government. You got to do all these things. You got to have a permit. And then, you know what I mean? You got to have like some type of social media. Then you have to pay to park your place over at this spot and this location and things of that nature. The amount of pressure that you have to deal with over here in America just to sell some goddamn food that's delicious that you probably made in your home, that's probably a lot safer than these restaurants and all these other different places out there that give food, but it's not nutritional for your intake. You don't have to deal with that stuff in Colombia. He decided out of nowhere that he wanted to sell food, and I shit you not, the next goddamn day, he pulled up in front of an apartment complex and just started selling food. He just started selling food. And it's that easy down there. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, he's a Colombian citizen, so they're not gonna mess with him much. But if you keep a low profile, like you go to Colombia, you don't spaz out, you don't act stupid, ignorant, whatever, and then you kind of just keep a low profile, people are going to let you do what you want. They're going to let you do what you want because they're going to think you're a Colombian citizen. Because believe it or not, Colombians look just like us, like me. I go there and I blend in, I go everywhere. I'm everywhere. Like they don't think I'm any different than they are, because I kind of just keep a low profile. So with that being said, I'm saying, like, guys, like, why are we choosing to go through this systematic pressure and feel like, oh man, we got to deal with this, we got to deal with that, I got to deal with this, the cops treating me bad, and oh, RIP to my dead homies, all this stuff, right? Why are we dealing with all this stuff when we could just go to another country, another continent that's connected to our same continent and succeed together, because everything we tried to do here in America, they burnt down. They burnt it down. All the Black Wall Streets, they burnt it down. Why? Because they feel like, you know, they don't want us to get ahead, but they don't care about that stuff down there. What they care about down there is you're putting money into the citizens. You're putting money into the citizens' pocket. That's why they love our tourism. When you go to Medellin, they love our tourism. They love it. You go to Cartagena, they love our tourism. You go to Bogota, they love our tourism. They love it. They don't try to prevent us from going down there. I'm saying we got to get out of this mindset that we got to make it exactly right where we're at. The American dream is no longer. The American dream is no longer, man. I know people who are retired military. Obviously, you guys know I'm in the military. I know people who are retired military with a job in the DoD and receiving full benefits and are talking about systematic BS this, BS that. Can't get a girl because they out here dealing with these rude ass women. Come on now, what are we doing? What are we doing? You know what I'm saying? I'm retired, if I'm a retired person, first of all, I would not be working. Well, I wouldn't volunteer my services, my life for something that I don't want to do. I would say that. I'm not be working. I'll be working, just not volunteer my life for something I don't want to do. And I'll be receiving my full benefits and I'll be in another country. I mean, you got Panama, you got Colombia, you got Brazil, you got all these different places where people look just like us that want us there to come there and spend the freaking money, spend our money. Hey, they take US dollar in Panama. You know what I'm saying? Like they want us there. That's a good retirement place. So you could build a better home, be in a better situation. If you have kids, you could bring your kids. They're in a whole new different environment. Me personally, I would do that. I know some people wouldn't do it. Oh no, the kids, they got their friends over here. How cool is it to live abroad? Live abroad and learn things from a different perspective. You know what I mean? I think it's a grand idea. And I think it's an idea that I'm ready to execute within the next 12 years. And honestly, man, like I feel like I saw this post today where they were like, obviously it's Black Friday, right? The Friday after Thanksgiving, which is where they do a lot of discounts. Everything's 50-40% off. Everything is like cheap as hell. If everything's cheap and the things that we want, right, are the name brands that we don't own, they're saying to boycott those name brands. Basically, they're saying, hey, don't buy that stuff because it's not owned by us. You know what I mean? Because that's what they want us to do. They want to spit in our face while we spend money on them. Well, newsflash, how about you just take your talents, take all your money, and go spend it in another country and watch what happens. Watch what happens. Those people are so inviting. They want you to, they bring you in. Some of them grab you by the arm. Hey, come here. Let me give you a plate of food. Just 20 pesos, man. I remember I went to Cartagena. I went to this one spot. I can't remember the name of it, but it was like this one spot where they have like delicious food, right? And I simply ordered mojada with avocado, arroz, y ensalada. What else I had? I can't remember everything I had, but it was good. Actually, it was arroz con coco. Man, it was delicious. So it was my first time having it. And I literally had like the biggest mojada I have ever seen. Like this big on my plate with a different plate of this and a different plate of this. And then my girl had a plate, of something, right? All together it was 30 pesos, which is, I want to say, maybe $8, $6 to $8 or something like that. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. Like, and they brought us and like, hey, let us cook for you. Let us, let us serve you. Let us do these things for you. And then we just sat down and they gave us the food and everything like that. Man, oh my God, it was so delicious. It was so worth it. It was so worth it. I don't have to deal with the restaurants over here, the pressure of tipping, the pressure of doing all this, ordering extra food and, being exquisite and not being myself. You know what I mean? I could go there, I could be myself, I could eat. They pamper me. They do it. They feel like they're doing a service to me, right? And you don't even have to tip them. Sometimes I want to, but they tell me, no, don't tip me. That's all I want. Infectivo, right? So we got to understand, man, like, it's like, why are we settling? And I get the whole passport bro movement. People are confusing passport bros with dudes that trick, right? And I don't know if y'all familiar with trick, but the word tricking is basically like kind of like, indulging in like prostitution and stuff like that. So yeah, true. There's a lot of dudes that go to South America to trick, right? I get it, I get it. Some dudes are slimy, and that's why they get kidnapped. That's why their organs get taken. Who cares? Honestly, I don't care. If you want me to have it, you want me to care for you, give a shit about you, don't be out there tricking. You know what I'm saying? If you out there tricking and you get what you deserve, that's on you. You asked for that. You're the tricker. Nothing personally has ever happened to me. Honestly, I've always been safe. Never from one thought, never had one thought of, oh man, this person's about to, oh no, I got to defend myself. Not one time. Not one time. I've been pressed so many times in America. Not one time in Colombia. Not once. Not once have I been pressed or I've been in a situation where somebody was like, yo, what's up? Or try to grab me or put their hands on me. Never. Never. So like I said, like I get it. I get the passport bro situation, and people are trying to make it seem like it's lame or whatever, whatnot. Kings, don't settle. Don't settle, man. When you can have more, you can actually have your cake and eat it too. You know what I mean? While you're down there, if y'all know what I mean, you know what I mean. You can actually have your cake and eat it too. But at the same time, you got to understand the culture, and you got to be willing to accept the culture. And to be honest with you, man, the culture is, if you're from the coast, like if you're from like I'm from Houston, right? If you're from like Florida, if you're from let me see, like Louisiana, New Orleans, if you're any type of Creole, if you're type of Haitian, anything like Dominican, if you're anything of coastal, the southern part of America, if you're anything of that, you will not have a problem blending in the culture in Colombia. I'm telling you right now, you would not have a problem. It's the same thing. It's the same culture. The same culture. Actually, me right now, I live on the East Coast, and I still don't like. I still don't associate myself with people from the East Coast. I still don't. Like, I cannot hang out with those people. I've tried it. You know what I'm saying? I've tried hanging out with even going out to like nightclubs and shit like that. I disassociate myself with the people here because it's just ignorant as hell to me. But Southern people, right, who are more like me and have good manners, they're very peaceful people. They talk, they be polite and everything like that. It's the same culture in Colombia. And it's something that I'm used to, very traditional. So I think that what we have to do is we have to realize that we do not have to settle for what these people are trying to offer us. We could just go. We don't have to stay here. We could just go. You know what I mean? And like, y'all got to think about that, man. Because at the end of the day, who's holding you back? Who's holding you back? You know what I mean? Who's really holding you back from doing what you want to do? It's you. It's you. You're holding you back. Yeah, you're gonna have to deal with the systematic pressure. You're gonna have to deal with all these things. You're gonna have to deal with the business, the bank telling you no, we can't loan you this so you can build generational wealth for your family. You don't have to deal with that stuff over there. You don't. No, it's peace, prosperity. And I get it, man. I get it. I know they have a bad rep. I know South America has a bad rep. I know. But it's a lot more peaceful than you think. It's a lot more peaceful. And I know the government, when you think about government, right? The government may seem bad, and I get that. But in reality, government really has no control over you. They really don't, unless you're in the military. But the government has no control over you. So the American government has no control over you, and whatever country you choose to live in has no control over you. You might think they do, but there's always avenues to approach, there's always ways to maneuver. But I'll tell you what, it's more of a constraint here because the high cost of living and the opportunity to live. You know what I'm saying? Everybody should be able to afford a mortgage by themselves, right? At least everybody should be able to afford a mortgage by themselves. Everybody should be in a situation where they can do for themselves. And it's not like that anymore. It's not like that. It's the cost of living has gone through the freaking roof. You know what I mean? Like it's ridiculous, the things that we're dealing with in terms of the financial means to take care of ourselves and take care of our own. So while we're dealing with this pressure, we need to understand that we don't necessarily have to go through the trials and tribulations that they tell us we have to go through. No, we could just save up enough money and leave. I mean, that's what I'm doing. You're not about to hold me back. I got big dreams, man. But that's just a play in the playbook, man. This is Toeasy Playbook, where we give you the play on life itself And I definitely think that that's a new play on life that we all need to consider. Where you are matters. Where you land matters. One of my favorite quotes of 50 Cent: never confuse loyalty and location. Why is that? Why did he say that? Well, artists such as Nipsey Hussle, Tupac, Biggie all got killed in the hood they claim. You know what I mean? They got killed by their own people. So a lot of times we get caught up in it. I mean, even some of the new people too. You know, what's his name? King Von. What's the one guy named? What you know about love? I got what you need. The guy that sing that song, right? So a lot of these dudes, they got killed in their own hood. You know what I mean? Like they thought their own hood was loyal to them, and we just need to apply that to our lives. Like obviously, none of us are like majority of us, right? Hopefully, you guys don't follow me, indulge in that kind of stuff. But me personally, I don't indulge in those type of violent activities or anything like that. But I don't confuse loyalty with location. I don't plan to live in Houston, Texas the rest of my life and build there just because I'm from there. No, if it benefits me, yes, but I know it doesn't because I've seen the world. So what I plan to do is build my own somewhere else where I'm not being bothered, where I'm not being where banks are not reneging on me, where there's peace and prosperity. No one's bother me. I don't have to worry about no systematic pressure, dealing with this, dealing with that. You know what I mean? So we got to understand that we don't have to settle for less, kings and queens. We don't have to settle for less. Go where you're celebrated, not tolerated. And we can do this together. We could do this together. And it don't have to be South America. It could be Africa. It could be Africa. But we need to leave this Western society. It's ruining us. I mean, look at the divorce rate in our community alone. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous. It's absolutely asinine. And I say that as a person who's divorced. I contributed to the statistics. I did, But at the same time, I'm not about to settle. I'm not about to settle. Forget that. No one's gonna hold me back. No one. Only person that holds me back is me. And I'm gonna do whatever it takes. But yeah, that's the playbook on life, man. This is CP, Colombia Papacito. I think I just had to share that with you guys. Let's stop. Instead of saying, oh, let's boycott this, let's boycott that, how about we go build somewhere? How about we go build, put our money, our time, and our energy in another place? I bet you they start acting different. Because they're, oh, I'm gonna boycott this, I'm gonna boycott that. Not everybody's gonna do it. And there's other people that would, that will spend the money there if you're not gonna do it. So let's change the way we do things and build somewhere else. Build a community somewhere else where we can actually come together and thrive successfully. But yeah, it's your boy CP. I'm out.